A new console just dropped, Mario Kart is back with the price of an air fryer, and people are arguing about it online. Again. No, I'm not joking, look. You have got one half of people yelling how expensive games are nowadays, and claiming to be poor just because they can buy one Nintendo game per month instead of two. Man, gotta feel amazing to live so disassociated from reality, huh? And then there is another half of people holding the new Switch 2, drooling over the fact that they added a cow on the new Mario Kart as a playable character. But hey, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your wallet. I'm just here to explain why I personally don't buy games on release most of the time, and if it helps you, I mean, you're welcome, no? Let's take this out of the way. When it comes to money, I could buy a AAA game every month or two depending on the price of said game. The reality in my eyes is, there is barely two almost none games that I consider worth more than $60 for the base price of the game. So every time that I hear people complain about how the new Mario Kart game is not worth the money, but then when it comes GTA 6, it's gonna even cost even more than that, and people will not only buy it gladly but also applaud Rockstar for making the only game worth buy to play on console. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Those type of statements, I just find them very cringe. Not as cringe as Brainout content nowadays, but it's still kinda cringe. And don't get me wrong, I don't think 3 hours of races and then multiplayer is worth $90. If it's a game I just wanna play with my friend at home, yeah, it's just a bit too much. ¿Cómo que 3 horas? No puede ser, ¿no? Ay, pero Lapu. But what about the other games? Open worlds with hundreds of hours with photorealistic art style that look absolutely stunning. Well, they don't really tend to interest me, to be honest. And when they do, it's not common that I'm excited for them. So when I see them, I'm just like, oh nice, finally released. Well, I guess I will wait for the next sale to get it then. Even when I buy them on a cheap sale, I regret sometimes, essentially because I'm just very strict when I buy a game that I bought with my money, but not because I'm extra picky with all the games I buy. It's just like the fact that after I'm done with a game, either because I finish it or because I don't think I will play it anymore in a shorter future, I just asked myself the question of, did I feel satisfied with the time I spent on it considering how much money I bought it for? Eventually there are a few exceptions, right? It's not like I don't have a franchise or two I would avoid buying if I'm ultra hype. I'm just gonna eventually get it, but do I end up regretting it? Not entirely really, but it's true that, well, how do I say this? This point is not really an opinion, and more so a fact based on how game development works nowadays. But unless you are playing a fully multiplayer experience that the balance, change of mechanics, or toxicity can change your experience with the game you are in the future, yes, I'm personally attacking to you, Marvel rivals, reality is, when you buy a game on release, you are essentially buying the worst version of that game. Something that also applies to consoles, by the way. And I don't say this only because games lately release unfinished and broken. I'm talking about the content, they tend to have less. Polish the game with bugs and quality of life is something that sometimes can only be addressed after the games are released and played by a lot of people, and especially with consoles, this happens a lot more. And all this I just said also applies heavily on the indie games. I only buy indie games on early access if the early access is cheap enough for the amount of content it contains now, or if I trust the team or the person who is doing the game. Otherwise, yeah, I will just wait for the full release, even if that means wait for the game to be more expensive. And even though this video will always be free, you can leave a like and subscribe now. Now that I have already addressed the money and the technical issues, let me deep dive a bit into more personal preferences. You see, I'm always eager to try new games. Also, a lot of times, especially lately, I just have been sticking out with the games I'm more comfortable to play. Why? Depends on the day you are asking me. Sometimes it's just time, sometimes it's just energy, and other times simply I just not in the mood to play the genre of the new trending game that is up to. Why would I want to play the new game trending that everyone is talking about right now if it comes from a genre that I'm not in the mood to play or has an aesthetic that isn't really that pleasing to me. I'm gonna detour from the topic a little to explain something. Eventually this is something weird to say considering I have a YouTube channel, and from the standpoint of getting views, the most optimal way to get them is just trend hopping and to do what everyone else does. Something that the more I do videos, the more I dislike to see it. And this is gonna sound weirder considering the type of format that I'm doing, especially in this video right now, but I actually hate video essays most of the time. The people that do this type of videos tend to act like they are very smart to influence heavily on you, instead of just exposing how they feel about the topic they are talking about. And I'm not trying to throw roses to myself or my content. The type of content that I'm talking about starts something like this. You thought Hello Kitty Adventure was just for kids? Cute. A masterpiece of a game with a pastel-colored Trojan horse packed with existential dread, late-stage capitalism, and the slow collapse of identity is what we are gonna find out in this video. Bro, you use chill music to try to make your opinion sound important. I do it to make my voice sound more interesting than it actually is. We are not the same. So what does any of this have to do with the topic of this video? This summarizes fatigue. The same fatigue I feel when I see in the social media people trying to sound smart or trying to bash on a game or a company. Video games on the internet last the same as a spark usually, and I wouldn't have an issue with that if that meant at least if the opinions came from the product itself instead of who made it and what was the logic behind it. I'm not upset that people try to save money by thinking they should trust who is making the game or not. I'm just upset by the fact that I believe people are just like too aware. Or at least they try to the point that they can't enjoy games anymore and blame companies for it. You have one valid guy saying, a new fighting game that looks awesome with anime style and Mario characters? Give me 10. And another equally valid but annoying guy saying to that person, nah, you capping bro, this game is gonna be dead after a week. Then there is the other elephant in the room. Why would I buy a game that looks interesting but I'm not excited about if I already have other games to play? Look, I'm not talking about backlogs. I think having a list of games you haven't played or finished dictate why you should have fun instead won't make your gaming experience any better. I'm talking about the standpoint of, if I'm already having fun with a game, why would I want to pause it? If me and my friends are playing Fortnite and a new game comes out and we are neither of us hyped about it despite looking interesting, why would I want to spend money on a new game that I can buy later when I actually feel like it and now choose to buy cosmetics for that game and playing instead? Eventually all this is my opinion and you can agree or disagree and I'm okay with it. Just wanna point out that I'm not heavily against microtransactions as long as they respect my money and my time. In a perfect world, all the extra content cosmetic wise can be unlocked. But we don't live in a perfect world and development costs a lot more money now. And when I'm just against certain practices in certain games, instead of wasting my time complaining for weeks about them, I either make a passing by comment or a video or just don't talk about it at all and actually speak with my wallet by not buying certain stuff. It's the only way companies here nowadays, honestly. Anyhow, what do you think? Are you excited about the games that have been showcased on the Summer Games Show? I wish listed a bunch of them, been trying demos here and there, but I will see which ones I end up buying when they finally release and which ones I will just wait for. I hope you all like this video and I will see you all in the next one.